Hello, welcome back to my channel. So we are continuing on with the beginners needle tatting series, and today we are going to learn how to add beads to our tatting project and also how to add beads to your split rings. So this is going to be a dual tutorial. So first and foremost, we are going to start with a regular ring and adding beads to it because that is the easiest method of doing it. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle. I am using a smaller needle today and some crochet thread in the size number 10. And we are just going to work a regular ring with beads on it. And there are a couple of different ways that you can do this. So I'm going to show you the easiest way of working beads into your work, and that is to simply just thread them onto your needle and your thread, just like this, in whatever pattern that you're doing, if you have colored beads, or, however many that you need to complete your project. And then we're just going to go ahead and just add it all the way down, making sure that we have a long enough tail thread for what we are doing. So now I am just going to work up my first ring. Okay, and I'm going to work 3 double stitches and a picot, and this is where we are going to add our bead, is on the picot. And just like that, and then I'm going to do 3 double stitches, and then we're going to have a picot, and we're going to add a bead. Now, not every single picot has to have a bead, it just depends on what you are working on. For right now, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a picot, or a bead rather, to all my picots. Okay, simple, right? And now we're going to close our ring. Now, the problem that I run into while closing rings that have beads on them is that these end stitches here tend to want to flip and then create a knot, and it makes it virtually impossible to close your ring. So just make sure that you are holding everything down very securely with your fingers and your thumb, and just work really, really slow. So that way we make sure that everything is just staying where it needs to stay. And use a thread that doesn't like to twist up on you. And there is our tiny, tiny little ring that has our beads on it. And there it is. So now we're going to go ahead and close this ring. And we are going to go ahead and work a split ring. Since we have a regular ring, we're going to work a split ring. So split rings are where you work 1/2 of your ring on the pointy side of your needle. And as you can see with this one, we're only going to have a 1 picot on this side. So let's go ahead and grab one of our beads. And we're going to finish this part up. Okay. So now I have that right there. So now we're going to go ahead and flip our work, but first we are going to remove our thread from the eye of our needle and flip it around. So now we are working with the needle thread here. So let's go ahead and work our first 3 double stitches. Just going to make sure that everything is where we want it. And that is 3. So according to this, we are going to add another bead here, but since we can't thread our beads on our needle, we are going to have to pass these through with another needle, or if you're lucky enough, it'll just pass through on its own, as you saw there. That was pretty lucky. And now we're going to move it all the way up here and finish up our ring. Okay, so there is our 2 beads added to our split ring. So let's go ahead and make sure everything's still settled. And let's go ahead and re-thread our needle. Pull through, and there we go. We are going to go ahead and close our ring. And remember, these tend to want to just flip around. So make sure that you have everything held securely and move slow. There we go. It's always these end ones that want to come undone. All right, and there are beads on our split ring. Easy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and flip this and close my ring. And that's the way you continue on. You would just keep doing that, adding your beads from your ball and then adding your beads from your needle. It is kind of tedious, but totally worth it if you want the beads on there. So there is another way of adding beads to your work, and that is to do it while you're working, while it's on the outside. So that means that you have to have beads that are big enough to fit a crochet hook into. So I did find a crochet hook that does fit these little tiny glass beads. Whether or not it's going to work, we'll find out. This one is a US 9 or a 1.25 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, this method entails you having to juggle a lot of stuff. So I'm going to create a chain and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm just going to work up 4 double stitches here. And now for this part here, we're going to take our crochet hook and our bead, and we are going to add our bead over our crochet hook. Take our thread, loop it around. Oh, see, I told you this is very fiddly. So we're going to take our thread here, loop it around, and we're going to push our needle through. Hope you caught that. And as you can see, now I have a loop on there. And now we are going to loop this onto our needle, just like that. And we're going to tighten that up. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. So this is going to act as a half of our double stitch. So I'm going to complete the second half, just like that. And as you can see the difference, we now have it looping around our bead. Hopefully you're getting this. So I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 more double stitches. And then I'm going to add another bead right here. Now it does give a cool effect, I think, but it is a little fiddly to try to get this to work. So as you can see here, I pulled up the loop and I'm just going to slide my bead right over the loop, but is very difficult. Okay. And I got it through. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put this loop on our needle. There we go. And remember, this is going to count as half of your double stitch. So let's go ahead and complete that. And do 3 more. 3. And there you go. As you can see, it is like encased in our chain, which is pretty cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and close my chain. So yeah, I really like the way that looks with the beads kind of encased. That looks pretty neat. And so now we would keep going. I would probably do another split rings right here to add this to kind of give it the same look on both sides. So I'm going to show you one more time how to add beads using picots and how to add beads using a crochet hook. Hopefully that will help clear anything up. All right, so there you go. That is how you add beads to your tatted work. And I showed you 2 different ways of doing it. One, just beading or threading your beads onto your thread. And another way was using a crochet hook that is small enough to fit into your beads. So that is the only thing about using the crochet hook, is that you have to make sure that your thread and your bead is going to fit through, because as you know, we were passing the thread through and then looping it on our needle. So yeah, I hope this was informative and you learned something new. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit like if you liked it and if you want to see more. And like I said, if there are any suggestions or anything that you are confused about or anything, let me know in the comments down below and I will attempt to answer your questions and possibly make a whole dedicated video for it. So anyways, guys, thank you so much once again. I will see you later. Bye.